Welcome back, everybody. This is the Johnny-Mare, and I'm continuing with Resident Evil 2, the Claire A scenario. So we are almost at the end of the game. We just have a few more things to do before we can finish up Claire's scenario. We are gonna avoid this room down here because we need a key card to open it. We are gonna pick up this red herb, and then we will head into the labs over to the left. So once we finish up Claire's scenario, what that will mean is we need to also then take on Leon's B scenario. We will do that, of course, in the very near future. Now, we do have the weapon box key that'll allow us to access this locker over here with the light above it. So use the weapon box key on it, and that will allow you to get some grenade rounds, which of course are very helpful. Good for lickers. They can be helpful against zombies as well, although we're going to be using fire rounds against them. And what's cool about the fire rounds with zombies is that if you allow them, yeah, there we go, to just burn, basically, take that door frame, then they will eventually die from it. Now, the exception is if they go down like that and they're not dead on the ground, the fire actually doesn't seem to harm them. And so basically they can still bite you. But sometimes it's hard to tell whether they're dead or not because of the bleed out animation. Now, we actually have to use this device here, but we need an item first before we can use it. That was something we did not have to worry about in Leon's A scenario. Now we have the key card that allows us to access a couple of different rooms, one optional, but one required. And there is one more zombie in here, and since we're gonna be coming back here, I might as well kill it, right? So let's see if we can take him out with some flame rounds. I'm just gonna assume, maybe foolishly, that those 2 rounds took him out. But alright. That's it for the flame rounds for now. We're going to switch back to our grenade rounds, and as we leave, we're going to activate a cutscene.
Annette!
You killed William. I'll never forgive you for that.
Wait!
I've just prepared a sample of the G-Virus. And this time, no one will take it from me. This is the most significant piece of research my husband has ever left in my hands.
Stop it! Sherry's in serious trouble. William implanted her with his embryos. There's no telling when they'll pupate. And if that happens, Sherry won't...
What? William... You're alive.
Oh, I love that scene. You're alive! Ah!
William is still alive. He's getting stronger with each skin he casts off. Sherry!
Tell me what I need to know. How can I save Sherry?
I have detailed information. Everything you need to know to prepare the antidote is right here.
So you'd think if she pulled that little memo out of her lab coat, it would be covered in blood, right? Since her entire chest was. But this document will tell us how to create the G-Virus vaccine. Which, you know, I've always heard that with vaccines, what you're doing is you're injecting some of, you know, the virus or whatever that you're trying to vaccinate yourself against into your body so that your body learns to create antigens against it, or whatever they're called. And this is talking about doing it once the virus is already in your body. So that seems kind of weird. But I do like that it's called the Devil. Interesting name for it. So it's a fairly easy procedure that we have to follow. We have to find a canister. Then we have to put the base vaccine into it. And then we have to come all the way back across the lab and mix the actual antigen vaccine. So that will require us to do some backtracking, running around, and that will be kind of the culmination of this episode. And the next time we're going to take on the final boss and end Claire's A scenario. But poor Annette, she finally gets to see William one last time, and he kills her. Now, I've never noticed anything about this shock or temperature, but it's possible that that actually plays a role. There's really only one room that has temperature difference, so maybe it involves that room. But let's see if Annette has any last words.
Save my daughter. And tell her I'm sorry I wasn't a better mother. Tell her I love her. Sherry.
Annette!
The self-destruct sequence has been activated. Repeat, the self-destruct sequence has been activated. This sequence may not be aborted. All employees proceed to the emergency car at the bottom platform.
Annette, even though you tried to kill me every single time I ever met you, I'm so sad that you're gone. Probably more so because she's Sherry's mom, of course, and now that leaves Sherry in our possession, or care, however you want to look at it. But now we have the self-destruct sequence activated, and with the keycard we can access this room with a giant-ass moth in it. So we're going to use some flame rounds on it and try to kill it. A couple rounds will take it down. This is an optional room. You do not have to come in here. And then there are some little larvae on the little desktop here, so make sure to kill them as well so you can use the computer. And what you need to do is access the computer and type in your username, which is guest, as we found out from a memo last time. And you need to do this with both Leon and Claire if you want to access a completely optional room. So I figure I might as well do it just to show it off. Now you can't actually access the room until Leon's scenario, or the B scenario. So this is all just setting that up. Now we have the very annoying self-destruct message, very loud. And because for some reason in this game, the voices of the characters during cutscenes are actually fairly quiet, there's a cutscene coming up with Claire and Leon that it's going to be very difficult to hear what Claire says. So I will tell you basically what she says to Leon after the scene.
Never mind that right now. Leon, you have to go back and get Sherry. I left her in the security office. Please, you must save her. I still have a few loose ends to take care of. I'm counting on you.
So basically she asks Leon to go and pick up Sherry. And then she's going to go make the vaccine to hopefully save Sherry. So in order to do that, we need to head upstairs, and we have to use our keycard on one more room. Hello, Mr. Liquor. I have some nice grenade rounds for you. also need to find an item to open that door back there. And that is in the final room, or new room, that we can access with Claire. Now, unfortunately, some of these plant enemies are going to respawn. Fortunately not on the little balcony here, next to the giant plant there, with the weird eyes, or whatever those are. But inside the corridor they do. And apparently I missed a green herb, so I should probably pick that up, eh? Not that I need it, but, you know, just for the heck of it. It actually works out, because then we can mix it with my red herb. So there are 2 in this corridor. You have to be careful, because otherwise they will spit you with poison. And the first one is the most difficult to hit. It's around the corner. Kind of look like Sin from Final Fantasy X, in my opinion. So blast them quickly. 2 shots, and did this one die? No, it didn't. Nice. I get a nice little poison bath, thank you. And I'm on caution. Well, luckily I had that healer, huh? That worked out well, despite my stupidity there, getting attacked by that stupid plant monster. So the room we need to get to in is the one we went past before. We went to get the main fuse, and we can actually access it now with our key card. We can also, since we turned the power on, access this shutter switch. So let's hit that. And this is the optional room that requires you to use your fingerprints from that room with the moth in. What we need to do is run down and activate it. We'll initiate our fingerprint process. You do need 2 people to do it, which is why you cannot open this room until the second scenario. And you do not want to begin with the second one, because obviously we don't have a second fingerprint. So we'll see what's in that room once we're Leon. And we'll discard our useless lab key. Now, this room is filled with zombies, so make sure you are prepared for them. I have plenty of flame rounds ready for them. Okay. There's some around the corner over here. We need to turn on the light switch, and the machine is right there. That nice red image there. And this is the vaccine cartridge we need. We'll put that in the machine, and we'll use that to make the base vaccine. What the heck? God dang it. I shot you twice, you jerk. Of course. I'm just letting everything attack me in this episode. So we need to insert the cartridge in this machine. And then there is a switch over on the wall we have to hit. But there are some zombies over here, of course. And yeah, I'm not gonna let you grab my leg again. So let's activate the VAM system controller. That'll create the base vaccine, and then on this little cart here, there is the MO or MO disc. We are almost out of flame rounds. That's pretty crazy. Alright, so now that we have the base vaccine, we need to, of course, head all the way back to the other side of the lab, to the particular area where we use the weapon box key, and use that machine I mentioned earlier. Now, it's really nice that you're not under a time limit, even though the self-destruct sequence has been activated, as we hear, over and over and over. We actually don't have a time limit yet. And I'll emphasize yet. You do get one eventually, but not till a particular cutscene. Now, fortunately, as long as you killed the enemies on this route, there are no new ones. They don't respawn. So this should be clear sailing all the way to the lab. So we just have to run all the way back there. Because that makes sense, right? You have the base machine in one room, and and then you force them to walk all the way to the other side of the lab to actually complete the vaccine. You can't just have it all in one room. There was room in that room, for the other machine, but, you know. Oh, wow. I guess we have some skinless zombies to take out. Oh, man. I think that killed it. I'm not gonna check. If it didn't, I'll come and get it later. Okay. Oh, and one more. Ah. Okay. So they should all be dead. I'm gonna save the Modisc. We'll come back to that door in a little bit once we get the actual vaccine, and then we will continue onward towards the end of the game. So I'm actually not going to save either right now. We're going to avoid this because I do want to create the actual vaccine, and then I will save. I figure I'll save right before the final boss, and then if something happens, you know, I don't have to go through the process of creating the vaccine again. Because something might happen. I do occasionally die on the final boss. It is not an easy fight. Compared to the other boss battles, it is very, very difficult in this game. Okay, here we are. After running around like a fool, let's insert the base vaccine. Are we gonna push the switch? Of course. No, we're not. No thank you. And then it creates the vaccine. It looked green, but now it's blue. So there we go. Now we can save Sherry. And all we have to do is take on the final boss of the game and escape Raccoon City. Of course, we will do that all in my next episode when we finish up Claire's A scenario. So as always, viewers, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you're all excited for the end of Claire's A scenario and then the beginning of Leon's B scenario. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time. So long.